Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm using my better microphone today, so let me know if the sound is better. Seemed like last time we were talking about that, and people weren't really complaining much about the sound when I was just using my laptop microphone there, but hopefully the sound is better in this case. But here we are. I was expecting to build the Seltsam Gundam on on today's live stream build, but this came in and I thought this is probably something that people are maybe more anxious to see about. People are probably, those of you guys are probably more anxious to see about the G40 here. So let's build this, and then we'll live stream build the Seltsam next week. So let's get started, eh? Because, as you guys also may know, I'm currently working on painting the Barbatos and simultaneously working on painting the Master Grade Gyaradoga as well. So over there painting, I've kind of been like switching back and forth, painting some Gyaradoga parts, painting some Barbatos parts, and so that's the plan also for the rest of the day. Also, let's see. Yes, I have also seen the people online already posting some lewd posing of the G40 Gundam, just because it's so posable. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, you may also have seen I got this in yesterday. I'm pretty excited about this. Oops. There you go. The Aoshima Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla, I should say. So that's pretty cool. And Gundam Guy 87, yes, this is coffee in here. It's just after 11 a.m. here, so. Alright. What do you say we just get right into it? And I don't need the stickers quite yet. Did you guys all watch the unboxing for this kit? Did you appreciate the look through the book? It was quite long for an unboxing video because I wanted to show like looking through the art book as well. I didn't know if people would really care to look through the art book, or if people would just be complaining, why is the unboxing video so long? But it's a kind of special thing, so I figure at least show it. Patrick Leslie, I'm actually not like a huge Godzilla fan, like more than the average person probably, but I'm not like as huge a Gundam fan like as I know that some people are. But it's not Gundam, sorry, Godzilla. Especially when I was younger, like when I was first like getting on the internet, like when internet was like first a thing that I could use, like when I visited my cousin's house, like before we had it at my house, I was like looking up Godzilla movies to check out, because I knew the couple of Godzilla movies that we had like in my local video rental shop or something, right? But like I knew there was more, so I was like, I remember like checking the internet like when I was first using the internet for like websites that had like a list of all the Godzilla movies because I wanted to see more of them. But like I only knew of the few that were at my video rental shop. So anyway, yeah. Hung asked, "What's the material of the joint parts like?" The material of the joints, everything's all the same. It doesn't have any polycaps, but it has some very polycap shaped plastic parts. Like here in the shoulder, like it has parts for the shoulder that looks very much like the typical shoulder joint polycap in there, and especially in the arms as well. All right, a couple questions here. Let me just get to some of these here before we get to building. Also, Kirofuda on Twitch, thank you for your subscription there. I appreciate that. Let's see. You guys on Twitch are talking about what you're drinking. Water and Budweiser and Irish whiskey. Okay, fair enough. And let's see, Rex Defect asks, which version of Godzilla is your favorite? Mm, I don't know. Maybe like the Godzilla 2000. That was pretty cool. The new Godzilla is pretty badass though, in like the American movies. The recent Godzilla in Hideki Anno's version is pretty goofy. So I kind of appreciate the uniqueness of it. But was my favorite Godzilla battle? I don't know. I think I'm not that big of a Godzilla fan to have a favorite battle. I just like the movies. I like those kind of like old, like just retro Japanese movies dubbed into English, especially like the big monster movies and things like that. Some of my favorite episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000, if you guys are also fans of Mystery Science Theater 3000, some of my favorite episodes of that show are the ones that are like the old Japanese monster movies redubbed. So those are always some of my favorites because I kind of like the movies just on their own, but of course the comedy commentary just makes them more entertaining as well. Shiv asked, knowing that you're a Kojima fan, did you get a chance to play Death Stranding? No, I have not gotten a chance to play Death Stranding, and I probably won't, just because I just don't really have time to play any games these days. I mean, aside from just doing this work and then just having like a family and everything too, I just don't have time for that. I would love to, and I've been meaning to just watch some playthrough videos on YouTube, but I just also haven't gotten around to start doing that, so I can at least just kind of watch some of the gameplay of it and everything. It looks beautiful though, and I've been hearing from Alex, who's there in the chat. Alex, thank you for hanging out there and moderating. Alex has been playing it. He says he's loving it. So, what color scheme are you going to use? Revan, what color scheme? What color scheme am I going to use on the Gundam Barbatos? Actually, I won't tell you quite yet because I want you guys to see that in the work in progress video that I'll be posting maybe later on tonight. I already did post a hint to that though, and it seems like no one really caught the hint or even like kind of acknowledged even that what I posted was a hint. But I did post a hint for that already as to what the color scheme is going to be. If you're paying attention to around my social media, I won't give it away, but it's not like that surprising. But I just was going to reveal that in the work in progress video. But let's see. Gert said you've been on Mystery Science Theater 3000K for the last month. Yeah, there's a bunch of episodes on YouTube. So I wish there was more, because I know there's a bunch that aren't on YouTube, but there's enough on YouTube that you can watch them a lot. And yeah, I've watched plenty of them multiple times on YouTube. All right. Ignis asked, will you be painting the G40? Yes, I will. And this is something that I wanted to mention about. We need to get into start building this, but I did want to mention this here at the beginning, let you guys know that I'm going to be painting this straight away. So I've actually already, as I was going through and removing all the nubs, I was already doing some of the preliminary sanding as well, kind of like what I did with the Barbatos, because I wanted to paint that straight away as well. This one I'm going to be painting straight away. Also, like as soon as I'm done with the Barbatos, I'm going to be painting this up right away, like probably next week. And so what I'm going to do for the paint scheme though is I'm going to have a public poll. So we're going to put the poll for the paint scheme for this on USA Gundam Store's site. So I'll let you guys know about that later, probably in the review video. I'll also mention that just so people know about it. So we're going to have a poll on the USA Gundam Store page for the color scheme for this. So yeah, I'm going to be painting it up straight away. Let's see. There's a bunch of questions to get through here as we're getting started. So let me just go through a couple more of these. Did you like Pacific Rim? Yeah, I enjoyed the Pacific Rim movies well enough. They're not like some of my favorite movies, but I liked them all right. Fatty asks, Zach, are you building the kit? Yeah, well, yeah, I'm gonna start building the kit here in a moment as soon as I've gotten to everyone's questions. I know this subject is kind of tired, but any concerns about Kappa? No concerns about Kappa. I wasn't gonna make a video about it, then I was gonna make a video about it, and I just kind of haven't really gotten around to making a video about it, and it's kind of a dead meme at this point, so I don't know if I will. But no, I'm not concerned about Kappa. I don't expect it's gonna affect me at all. All right, and a hint. I need to jump off here and do some Indiana Jones. Yeah, William, you can go do some research, but I don't think it's going to be all that complicated to find the hint as to the color scheme of the Barbatos if you just check around my social media postings for the past couple days. All right. Let's see here. I have Burp asked, I have both the MG Freedom 2.0 and the MG Blitz. Which one should I build first? I don't know. Build whichever one you like first. You're going to build both of them anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much which one you build first. I would say build the Blitz first, so then when you build the Freedom 2.0, you can really appreciate how much better the 2.0 is. But the Blitz is also a great kit, so either one is good. All right. And have you seen the reboot with Jonah Ray on Netflix? No, I've not seen the reboots. I guess you're talking about Mystery Science Theater, because Netflix here in Korea doesn't have everything Netflix has in America, and it's a difference. So I'm pretty sure we don't have that here. And Michael asked, got any insider info on USA Gundam getting any more G40s? And I don't have any inside info, but I would say that they probably won't unless Bandai does another run of them, because I heard from Bandai that they're only doing just the single run of them. So unless Bandai decides to make more, I doubt the USA Gundam store will be able to get more, because even in Japan, I'm hearing that they're already getting hard to find in Japan as well. So it's I don't know, really. I don't really understand why Bandai's making such a limited kit when they've surely invested a shitload of money into the production of it. I don't know why they're only making it a very limited thing, but I assume they will make more at some point, probably later on next year. And they also didn't really make it very obvious or very clear that it was gonna be a limited release when they were doing all the early promotion for the kit and everything. I didn't know it was gonna be a limited release at all until we were there in GBWC in Tokyo, and the Bandai rep mentioned to me that it was just gonna be a limited release. I was like, what? Oh, I guess I better get one then, because I didn't have one pre-order. I wasn't gonna get it, but then after I heard that it was gonna be limited, I thought, oh, I better get one. And Ransom asked, do you plan to get the HG Vargil? Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think it's cool, but I don't know. All right. Can I start building now? All right. If you guys do have questions, of course, feel free to continue to ask whatever questions you have there. And just to make it easier for me to see, if you would please put your questions in all caps and or tag me in your question so that I can see it easily when I look up at the screen. But we need to get to building this. Have you seen Marcosius? No, I've not. I don't know what that is, so I've not seen it. Does Zaku like the design of the G40? No, Zaku does not really particularly like the design of the G40, but I'm doing my best to appreciate it. And I think painting it up in a different color scheme would look good. I've seen, some people painting it up already online, and anytime I see it actually painted, it looks better. So this is like the thing that you're building here for the stomach articulation, and it's pretty interesting how it can shift side to side like that. It's on like 5 ball joints at once. So it should be pretty well articulated, but hopefully it's all like compact or like housed in there well enough that you don't have things popping apart, because if some of these ball joints are like popping out of place and you have to kind of like disassemble the whole chest to get it pushed back together, that's going to be annoying. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. Marcosius is the new IBO kit. Oh, okay, yes, sorry, I remember now. Yes, the new IBO kit. Not super into the design from what I've seen so far. And we have got our first seam line here. These red parts for the inside of the stomach, seam line on the side of that. Pretty usual, I suppose, for an HG kit, but you'd hope for something from an industrial designer. He would want to design it without the seams. But I'm pretty sure we're going to have some seams on the arms as well. Just going through the parts, like getting the nubs off the parts for the legs and everything. The legs look like we probably won't have much in the way of seams on the legs. But the arms, I can definitely tell we're already going to have some seams on there. So I think I will need to do a little bit of seam line removal, or some of the seams I'm probably going to just convert to panel lines as well for this. Like these here on the side of the torso, I'll probably just convert those to a panel line down the side of there. So not as worried about those, but there is that stomach section. Then we got this part here. This is going to be a kind of our shoulder areas. Like that. Shoulder joints. Also not a huge fan of the fact of the joints of this being in white. But again, it's something that I'm looking forward to changing with painting. So we've got quite a few parts here. Go together on the front of this to make the front of the chest here. Zach, are those P Bandai Zeta Plus kits, are they re-releases? Yeah, the Master Grade P Bandai Zeta Plus kits I think are being re-released, right? But there's a new HG. Oh, sorry. No, you're talking about Zeta Plus. I was thinking about Zeta. The Zeta Plus kits. There's the new Zeta Plus coming out. Yeah, I was wondering kind of the same thing, actually. There's a new HG Zeta Plus. It's like the Amuro Colors version that's coming out. I thought that had already come out. So is that a re-release or not? Because, yeah. It didn't... Like, from the site that I saw, I was looking at on... Gundam Kits collection. They usually put like re-release in the blog post if it's a re-release, but they didn't have it listed as a re-release. But I was pretty sure that kit already came out. But I meant to check to be sure, but I hadn't gotten around to checking yet. But I assume one of you guys knows, so hopefully you can answer that better than me. When kit bashing, is there rules that say you shouldn't do this or that? No. When it comes to kit bashing or just customizing your Gunpla in general, there's no rules to it. I think that was the whole point to the Gunpla is freedom thing, was that there aren't really rules for it. There are guidelines as to just techniques of modeling that you should follow as far as like proper removal. I mean, if you're going to be painting and all that, proper removal of seam lines and, proper sanding and nub removal and, doing your best to do a good paint job. These sort of things I think should be followed regardless. But as far as like rules for customizing, if you want to kit bash like an IBO kit and a 00 kit together, there's no rules for that. I think whatever you think is going to look cool. Gerard said, hello, it's been a while. I've been in your stream. Well, hi, welcome back. Kiro Fuda said, for the next subscriber special, will you do a mukbang again? Maybe samyang noodles. Actually, I don't know about that, but in my, while we were there at the GBWC, at the dinner with the Bandai reps the night before GBWC, one of the Bandai reps had mentioned to me how he had seen, I think like when Tim was talking to him about how I was going to be joining them. So he checked out my channel, and one of my videos that he'd seen straight away apparently was the video of my mukbang video eating the crab out of the nightingale. And so he asked me if I was gonna, he said he liked it and he thought it was funny, and he asked me if I was gonna do another video like that. And I said no, I don't think so, because it was just kind of like a one-time like joke thing that I wanted to do. But he was saying that he thought I should do another one, so I thought, oh, maybe do like with the SD Nightingale or something, but do it like really petite, like make it like, instead of like a big plate of crab, just make it like little sushi things and like eat it like with chopsticks, like a really like super fancy Japanese sushi looking kind of thing. So I don't know, it's an idea. Burp asks, what are your thoughts on that new Earth 3 variant? Are you talking about the white one with the beam effect parts and stuff? It looks alright. I haven't really thought about it too much to really decide if I really want to get it or not yet, but it looks okay. I need to look at it more closely and decide if I'm planning on reviewing it or not. At the moment, I haven't decided. But Patrick, thank you again for your constant support. Thank you, Patrick. All right, let me hear you out again. Hear me out. An MG Zeta 3.0, but it doesn't transform. Instead, it focuses on stability, great articulation, other gimmicks, armor, separation, etc. Huge accessory loadout. Thoughts? Patrick, I'm totally with you on that idea. I think that would be a great idea, but I don't think that would be a very popular idea in the Japanese market. I think a lot of Japanese fans, like a lot of the Zeta fans in Japan, are like the old school fans, and they probably want it to be able to transform, because I think probably like those Japanese old school fans are more into like the transforming kits than maybe a lot of us Westerners are, or maybe not as much into like the transforming kits. I don't know, but I would think that they maybe are. So they probably want the transformation, I would say. All right, let's build this head here. But yeah, I would totally be all for a Zeta kit that doesn't transform and just is just an awesome kit minus the transformation. That'd be totally fine by me. All right. Then our eyepiece here. Strangely, the eyes on this kit, it's going to be really hard to show you guys. I'll show you in the review when I can show you really up close. Well, I don't know how close I can show it on this camera. Oh, I'd have to, yeah. I'll show you in the review. The eyes on this kit are, instead of being a raised detail, they're actually a sunken detail. So like filling in the eyes with paint should be pretty easy. Painting them the opposite way is also easy, but the eyes are molded differently in this case for this kit. They're a sunken detail, if that matters to any of you guys. Revan asked, or just said, just got my PG Strike. Any tips on building it? Not really. It goes together without any issues, as far as I can remember. I'm just sorry that you just got a PG Strike now, instead of waiting for the new version of PG Strike with the improved details. If you have started building the G40, I can't see anything. Fatty, you can't see anything. Anyone else having any issues with seeing anything? Hopefully you guys are all able to see everything okay. There it goes in there. See, here is the issue behind the bobblehead of this. It's because the neck joint looks too tall, too long. At least on Twitch, they're saying everything looks fine. On YouTube, I'm assuming everything is fine. Yeah, everyone's okay. Comment. Oh, Patrick asked, "Did you get your camera fixed?" No, my camera. Okay, here's the news on my camera. My camera is not fixed, but I found the battery charger for my wife's camera, so I'm using that a little bit. It's very similar. It's just like a lower end model, so it's okay. But it's a little bit more awkward to use. It doesn't have the same features and everything of mine. So for the time being, I'm okay. As for my camera, it's at the camera shop, and I got the call yesterday, and apparently, even though it's long since out of warranty, they should be able to fix it for free, because it's a manufacturer's defect with that model specifically. So apparently, like, the camera shops all got the word from Canon in Japan to, whenever they get that specific issue for that specific camera, to just fix it for free, because it's a common issue that they know is just prone to happen with that specific model. So the good news is that it should be fixed for free. The bad news is that it's going to take a few days yet. So I probably won't get it back until maybe middle of next week or something, I guess, at the earliest. And Common Kid asked RG to avoid. Any RGs to avoid? I've heard the Zeta is a pain in the ass. I've never built it though, so I can't really say. The RG Shinanju has a couple of weak points, but again, I wouldn't really worry too much about it. If you like it, just have some glue on hand. There's a couple of loose parts, I would say. You just glue them, and like some of the points of articulation can be weak just because of the weight of the kit. But if you want a 1/44 scale Shinanju kit that you want to be able to put in some awesome poses and not have to do any like gluing work or anything like that, I would say just get the HG. But you know, there's pros and cons to both versions. And Luck 4579, thank you for your contribution as well. Where can you recommend to get Gundam Wing P Bandai Supernova kits? Well, if you're talking about the Supernova kits are not P Bandai, so I don't know which. Or if you're talking about P Bandai kits or the Supernova kits, it's a different story. But assuming you're talking about just the Supernova kits, I would say go ahead and get those. From who? I don't know. Samuel Decal was selling them. I'm not sure about any other distributors in the US that are selling the Supernova kits. You probably will just have to get them through online. Amazon, or not Amazon, eBay. Maybe you could check. Michael asks, think you might do the MG Faz Verka for the next giveaway? I'm not sure if I'll be giving away a Faz Verka, but that's not a bad idea. If we can sort that out for the next giveaway to be a Faz Verka when that comes out, that'll be pretty awesome. Like during the live stream build of that, because that'll be a long live stream. So doing like a live stream build of that, and then like also having it as a giveaway, I think that could be a lot of fun. So maybe, yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. PG Perfect Strike doesn't come with the Grand Slam, so I'm gonna get the expansion later. Oh, okay. Revan said you wanted the Grand Slam. Okay. Personally, actually, the Grand Slam is not my favorite weapon for the Strike. It's a cool weapon, like I guess depending on what you don't want to do with it. But for the Strike and like even the Estrella as well, I always just prefer just the regular beam rifle and shield combo more than the giant sword. Pixelman asked, are you planning on doing any customs with the Core Gundam? Not at the moment. I don't have any plans for the Core Gundam doing anything with that at the moment. And Patrick asked, I was planning on contacting you for that as a giveaway. Oh, okay. So yeah, looks like we may be doing a Faz giveaway with Patrick's help again. So we'll see about that. That'd be awesome. Patrick, if you're up for it, I think that'd be pretty cool giveaway. So we'll see. Yeah. All right, let's finish building this head, shall we? Trying to keep up with your guys' questions as well. All right. I do also appreciate the nice color separation here of the Vulcans. Not really very visible, but they are there. The Vulcans and the vents on the side of the head being a separate part, being part of this piece on the inside of the head. So those are color separated. You don't have to worry about painting those separately. That's convenient. And the seam line on the head, on the top, the seam line is hidden as just like kind of part of the camera, but on the back of the head, it's kind of weird. There's a detail there, so like it seems like the seam line's kind of hidden by that detail, but the seam line kind of goes like right through the middle of the detail, so it's kind of odd. I'm gonna be a little bit on the fence as to what I want to do with that one. Oh. And now that I'm laying the sticker down, I'm thinking I may just want to keep this sticker for the finished kit. But, oh well, I need to show it in the review. So, this pink foil sticker for the top of the head will make just a good, even if you're painting the kit, it'll make a good sticker just to fill in that camera bit for the top of the head. But, oh well, it's okay. Sort something else out. And then our V-fin, which I've gone ahead and removed the safety flags on the V-fin, sharpened that up, and that doesn't really seem to fit in there quite right. What's the deal? It's a very delicate part, so I'm very nervous about pushing it too hard, but it doesn't like fit in there really flushly. Okay, that's strange. Anyway. Then that will go here. Now, one thing I'm curious about is it possible to somehow make the head less bobblehead? But maybe if you can just pose it the right way, it'll look okay. So we'll see. Maybe you like that. It'll be all right. We'll see once we get some more of the kit put together. Any plan to review the PG Astray Red Frame Kai? No, I don't have any plans to review that particular kit. Let's build whatever is in the manual next, which would be the backpack, actually. Parts up here. So, yeah, I've gone ahead and already done a bunch of the sanding prep work on this for pretty much everything except for the weapons and the arms. Oops, don't need that part. You have one extra part, one leftover part with this kit, and that is one of the wrist joints. Oops. This little white piece here you'll have left over, which I think I'll just keep it over there for the time being, but we'll probably just throw that away later. Does the G40 have a similar neck to the HG Atlas? I don't remember the build of the Atlas well enough to be able to say for certain. I'd have to go back and check. But could be. I'd have to check on that. But I don't know how well you guys can see it, but I'll show you in the review, of course. But the neck joint, I mean, it does look pretty good. It can look up really far like that, so that's cool. Okay, so for the backpack, we gotta put this part here and this part onto there. Let's see. Actually, just before I forget, I'm gonna sand that part. This part I needed to sand a little bit more. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it right now before I forget. JMT asked, do you have a favorite kit of the decade? No, but that's I'll get back to you on that, because as you guys know, for the past few years I've done like a top 10 kits, or like the best and worst kits of 2018 or whatever, something like that. But for this year, as was recommended to me from a friend, this year I'm gonna do like I don't know about worst, maybe just best, or something with the decade anyway, rather than just like of 2019. I'm gonna do like best kits of the decade, something like that. So yeah, I'll get back to you on that one. Jagan asked, I think this kit would look great in the color scheme of Matt's 160 Gundam. Like the white and gray and red color scheme. It's kind of like a rollout color scheme, isn't it? Basically, for Matt's Gundam. Yeah, I think it could look good in that color scheme as well. Do you like the design of the new Sharzaku in the G40 animation? Yeah, I do. I think it looks pretty cool. I like that. So I'm really looking forward to that kit. I think I'll enjoy that kit a lot more than this one, personally. So yeah, hopefully that does end up getting made. Also, Burp on Twitch, thank you for your subscription there. Were the face vents a separate part, or the entire faceplate one piece? Yeah. The face vents a separate part. The vents on the side of the head is a separate part in there. That's not like a black stick or anything. That black that you see on the vent side of the head, that's a separate piece inside there. As far as the front of the face, no, the slots on like the front of the face, those are not cut out or anything. No. So all right, I'm gonna put this in here. This is all pretty articulated for just the verniers for this. Ignis asked, do you recommend the PG Astray? Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Personally, I would just go for the MG. Amos asked, what are your feelings on Kakara 197? I've chatted with him before. He's a cool guy. I don't have any issues or any thoughts really one way or the other. He's a cool guy from my experience of chatting with him a little bit. Not too long ago, I think maybe last year or something like that, when he moved to Japan. I talked with him a bit. Just kind of, I think at the time, I don't remember exactly. I think I was giving him some advice about shopping for stuff in Japan or something like that. But it's been a while since I've talked to him, but I have talked to him a little bit. I think the kind of videos that he makes are cool. Very well researched and everything. So yeah. On the backpack part, there was a very annoying mold line going all the way around the backpack, which took a long time to get rid of, and I'm still not totally rid of it because here on the top of the backpack there's still some mold line going through some of the details there, so I'm left with the option of getting rid of that detail because there's no way I'm going to be able to get rid of that mold line and preserve the detail there because it's really tiny details. So I'll have to just get rid of the details or just leave the mold line there and not worry about it. So I'm not sure at the moment, but I'm leaning more towards getting rid of those details because I hate to see mold lines on a painted kit. Zaku asked, is it a great build? Well, so far, the little bit that I've been able to build so far is great. It's pretty interesting, yeah. Will you ever review the HGC Pale Rider? I don't have any, and I don't really plan to get it. I'm not a really big fan of the Pale Rider design, to be honest. But possibly sometime in the future, but at the moment, no plans for that. Mac Winix said, could you do a best worst kits of both 2019 and the decade? There are a lot of wonderful kits out this year. Yeah, I think that's probably something that I will do because I would still want to do like a yearly episode. So like doing best and worst, maybe like best and worst of 2019, and then maybe like a video that's like must have kits from the past decade, something like that. So it'd be like the most essential, like best kits of the past 10 years. That could be like for the 2 separate videos. So yeah, I will probably do 2 separate videos like that. Not all together in one video, but as 2 separate ones. Infantry said, I hope you're having a great day. Well, I am having a great day so far. This build is taking much longer than expected. So trying to keep up with you guys' questions as well. But that is okay. While in Japan, did you get those mini gachi 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 gachi? That's weird. Because I was looking around for the Gashpan balls a bunch. I don't really think I saw a lot of the Zakus. Why is that suddenly doing that? Hang on. Strange. Okay. Zaku said, is it just me or is the head of the G40 looks like the Hazel's head? Well, it kind of has a similar sort of look, I guess, just because of the camera on the top of the head. And why is the sound coming out of my computer? It's on mute. And it like keeps coming in and out. What is going on with this thing? Strange. What the hell? Mute. Asshole. Output. Internal speakers. Mute. Damn. Freaking weird. And oh, like I don't know what happened, but apparently something happened to my computer that it reset my USB. So like my mic settings chain must have changed, and like all of a sudden it was sounds coming out of the computer, and all of a sudden the video quality changed of the camera. So it must have done something goofy. Okay, let me reset my camera settings here. Sorry guys, bear with me for a moment. Very strange. Not sure why that happened. There we go. And here. That's annoying. It looks about right. And that looks pretty good. Is that right? Is that looking good for you guys? Dang, that's kind of stupid. Oh, I don't know what that was about. But let me just make sure here. So it's looking better again. I think so, right? The focus is still not quite right. Hang on. Very strange. Indeed. I think that's better. There we go. All right. Back to the questions. Do you believe this kit will be re-released without the art book and premium box? No, I believe it will be re-released, probably. But will it be re-released without the art book and premium box? Probably not. I assume that'll just be kind of a standard thing of the kit. So I'm assuming you want it like without the art book and premium box so that it will be cheaper, but I don't think that's going to happen. Gundam Drawing said, do you think we might get a KHAR kit sometime down the line? What do you think about the Theta Plus from Moon Gundam? Not sure about the Theta Plus. The KHAR I think is maybe possible if Bandai keeps going on with the the Advanced Zeta stuff, but we'll see. Okay. Switch. Let's see. Gachi. What are you guys talking about in Gachi? Okay. Why not try doing stop motion kits? I'm not interested in doing anything stop motion. Do you like the design of the G40? Yes, not particularly. All right. So, have you ever thought about making lore videos of mobile suits using your kits? No, I've not really thought too much about that because I'm just not really as much into that. I'm more into just like the modeling side of it, not really so much about like the lore, the anime, and all that stuff. So some people will get on me about that. So apparently there must have been like a glitch in the stream or something that I was saying got you or something you guys are talking about. Okay, anyway, if I'm now caught up on your guys' questions, I will continue some of this build here. Building the arms next, as according to the manual. What's my favorite kit of all time? My favorite kit of all time would have to be... My favorite kit of all time... I don't know. I have to think about that one. Remind me later, please. Kotobukiya Karina Mikazuki review, please. What's the Karina Mikazuki? I'm not sure what that is. I probably know what it is if I saw it, but just by name, I can't think of what that is. Karina Mikazuki. What is that? Is that the new Fantasy Star Online kit that just came out? Karina Mikazuki? I'm not sure. Based on the LBX Achilles. I have no idea what you're talking about now. Sorry. Burp said, I'm just curious, how do you go about applying dry transfer decals? Dry transfer decals, just very carefully, basically. You need like just some clear tape. I found is usually the best way to just lay over the decal. And then just using something blunt but not sharp, so it's like a rounded off toothpick, like doesn't have the sharp point on it, something like that. I've found usually works pretty good to just rub that, or it's like anything. Yeah, it's hard but blunt. Sorry. Hey, what the? This one here. So yeah, I think on the forearm here, we're gonna have a couple of seam lines. So the forearm is kind of split into two parts. And they rotate around each other, right? So it's pretty cool gimmick here. Oh, well, it actually doesn't rotate all that much, actually. That's pretty disappointing. How that's like the forearm and the leg is like this too. It's like split at an angle like that, and so you think there'd be more rotation there, but it actually just like rotates just a tiny bit side to side. That's all. But you've got seam line here, seam line, and then on the back, seam line all the way down the back of that. So a few seam lines to get rid of on that forearm. I'll probably just end up just gluing that all together, all in place like that. This whole thing, just get rid of that little tiny bit of side to side articulation. I don't think it's going to really be something I'm going to particularly miss, but I did forget to put in this part in between there. Oops. What do you use to fix surface imperfections such as shrunk uneven surfaces? Jagan, I would recommend just using a good old sanding stick. Is pretty much what I use. If it's like really bad, I know some people will like putty that and file it. I don't think I've ever come across an issue where I had to do that, where it was that bad. But yeah, they'll just like lay putty over it and then just sand it down. I mean, it's the most time-consuming option, which is why hopefully we won't have to do that anytime soon. I mean, you do have that every now and then, but like I said, luckily I haven't had to really deal too much with that. But yeah, there's time-consuming ways to get rid of that, but the quickest way, in most cases, when it's not that bad, you can just sand that just with the sanding stick. But yeah, liquid putty works too. Can I do a size comparison once it's finished? Yeah, absolutely, we'll do a size comparison. I am assuming it'll be pretty much the exact same size as the standard HG Gundam, but the proportions will definitely be different. I can tell right off the bat, I can tell you that the head is definitely larger than the Revive HG Gundam. Any tips for disassembling the MG Barbatos after snap fit for painting? Well, I've done it a couple times now. Just in the process of getting ready for painting it, putting it together and taking it apart a couple times, and haven't had any issues. It's fine. You should be able to disassemble the Barbatos perfectly fine. Ed B, will I paint the kit? Yes, I mentioned that earlier in the stream that I will be painting the kit, and I'll mention this again in the review video, but I'll be doing a poll. You guys will be able to vote on the color scheme for this kit. I'll put the poll up. That'll be on the USA Gundam Store site, where you guys can go and where are you? Oh, there it is. You guys will be able to go on the USA Gundam Store page and vote for the color scheme for this. So, just sorry to say, original color scheme will not be one of the options. I'm not interested at all in painting this in the original color scheme. It definitely needs a custom color scheme to make this really look cool, in my opinion. So, what will you be getting this Christmas? What will I be getting this Christmas? I don't know offhand, but I don't ever get Gunpla from my wife. That's just not a thing, because I just get plenty of it all throughout the year, just one way or the other. So it's not something that I need at all for my wife. So I don't know, my wife usually ends up getting me something else, just some random thing or something cool. I never really ask for anything. So I don't know. Alex is trying to get me to get a Switch, but again with that one as well, I just don't really have time for it. And that C-mine looks very odd. I think that could be better. I'm gonna pull this arm apart again because that C-mine is pretty bad. I think I just don't have something put together correctly. So since we finally, after so long, got a Mudrock kit, do you think we'll be finally getting the RX-784 and 5 as HGs? I would love to get the Gundam 4 and 5 as proper HG kits. That'd be awesome, because we already have some of the weapons, actually, with the space-type version of the Pale Rider. We actually have some of the parts of the Gundam 5 already. So that would be cool. I would be really excited for that. What colors would you paint a custom Zuda? I'm not sure about that. Those parts weren't going together because there was a little nub dust left inside there. What colors would I paint a custom Zuda? I don't know. I do love the design and color scheme of the Zuda F-type though, so maybe paint it in the F-type colors. They were building legs first and then the waist. But I would prefer to build. Wait. Where's the waist? Did I miss that somewhere along the way? What? Where's? Oh yeah, there it is. I would prefer to build the waist first, so I'm gonna skip ahead and build that before we build the legs. Yeah, the Gundam, like an MG Gundam 7th would be awesome too. Hasaki, I totally agree with that. Or getting a full armor Gundam 7th in using the HG kit. Or like the proper one, like that has everything in it. Alright, so let's see. We've got this part here for the waist. This one, like that. This is going to fit into here. When you do a live stream build, how much do you worry about nub marks? Well, JMT, I've already gone ahead and removed all the nub marks ahead of time on this, so I've already done all that before starting the live stream. So occasionally it'll happen that I miss one or something like that. I'll have to just remove it on the fly, but usually all the nub marks are already all taken care of. So here is that crazy hip section. So you can see the connector to the legs will move up and down on its own, but then this whole section will also move up and down as well. So ultimately you can get the legs way down there. Pretty interesting. Zach, could you kit bash a frame arms kit? Whoa, hold on. Could you kit bash a frame arms kit and a Gundam kit? And how difficult do you think it would be? It would be, I mean, as difficult as kit bashing anything, I suppose. But will I do it? I don't have any plans to do it at the moment, but it would be a cool project. I would like to do it. It could be. I would enjoy taking that on. Which new or upcoming HG kits are you looking forward to? Off the top of my head, HG kits coming out? What's coming out in HG? Other than just the couple, like, new version of the Earth 3. I don't know. I can't even think of anything off the top of my head that's coming out in HG that I'm really excited for. Zach, can you build it on center? It's really hard. See, I'm on the side of the screen, sorry. Yeah, I was noticing that I was kind of really far onto the side of the screen there. Sorry about that. What colors would you paint a custom camphor? I don't know. Camphor as well. I don't know, guys. It's one of those. You could go a lot of different ways with that. Oh no. Which one is right? This one or this one? I think it's this one is right. So then here, for the back skirt, this one goes here, and this one goes here. And that will plug onto there. I think this is the case where... Ooh, interesting. Uh-huh. This is the case where I probably should plug the legs on first and like follow the manual. But, oops, and also the side skirts kind of needed to go on first because they don't really... yeah, because the skirt's all like kind of all enclosed in there like that, which I don't really like that about this design, but that's probably why I'm supposed to build the legs first, because they're probably going to be hard to get on there once this is all said and done. But I'm just going to live dangerously and just go ahead and put this together first. And also, we have one more sticker here for the front of the crotch. Brawl asks, how many years have you been building Gunpla? Well, off and on. I mean, almost 20 years, I guess. Since like when I first started, but then there was like a good amount of time in between that I wasn't really building much of anything. Alright, there we go. Which Gundam kit and frame arms kit would you kit bash? I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. I haven't thought about it, so I'd have to give it some thought. But there would be some cool options, I think. So there we go. There's diaper is on. And we're ready for the legs, which definitely have the most amount of parts going on to them. Just ordered something from USA Gundam Store and use your discount code. Thank you, Angelic, for your support. Okay. Legs. Let's see. To go back to here. And alright. So got this part here. There is a specific top and bottom for that, so that needs to go on there like that. Right? Yes. For the rocking joint there for the ankle. And gonna have another seam line here on this part. I think it would seam for the back of the foot. Yeah. Back of the foot here, also another seam line there. That one as well will probably maybe just convert that into a panel line. Does the build feel like a standard HG or more like the Moon Gundam? It's a little bit more like the Moon Gundam in that it's a pretty like unique build for an HG kit. Yeah, definitely. It doesn't feel like a standard HG kit by any means. And Patrick, different Patrick, said, I got the Barbatos coming tomorrow. Congrats, you're going to really enjoy it. I mean, yeah, guys, I mean, as much as I'm not that big of a fan of the Barbatos design, and definitely was not that big of a fan of the anime either, I'm really enjoying painting the kit. It's a really great kit. So you're definitely going to see it on the best kits of 2019 list, for sure. Best kits of the decade? I don't know. I don't think so, but I would definitely say it's a worthy contender to be at least considered for the top like best kits of the decade. It's really good and really unique. So it's a nice build. Nice refreshing build for sure. Anybody who gets the Barbatos, whether you're a fan of the design or not, I think you can enjoy the build of it. So as long as you just enjoy building Gunpla in general, then I think you'll like that kit. As I said in the review, but just to reiterate that point, now that I've started painting it myself, I can definitely say with certainty that, you know, painting is just bringing out the details and everything of it even more, and it just looks even better once it's painted. Sazabi would be number 1. Sazabi, yes. I think so. Sazabi is definitely an amazing kit. It depends on what you want out of a kit, though. I don't know. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of the people who like can immediately put the Sazabi as like one of the best kits ever, just because of the fact that because it's so big and heavy and expensive, that it's not the easiest kit like to work with. If you want to get a kit that's like really super good at like doing some really cool dynamic poses and stuff, the Master Grade Sazabi Verka is just not it. The RG is much better for that. So there's pros and cons. It's like the Sazabi Verka is an amazing looking kit. It's an amazing build and everything, but it depends on what you want to do with it. So it's hard for me to say that like it's the best kit ever, because it definitely depends on your point of view, what you want out of a kit. So I kind of we'll just have to put like that caveat on it. What about the MG Shinanju Stein Verka? The MG Shinanju Stein Verka also is kind of a similar thing. So very great kit, no doubt about that. But I don't know. I couldn't say that it's for everyone. Whereas the Barbatos is one that I just got finished saying this, is one that I think that everyone can enjoy, because if you want to have it just standing there, it looks great. It's a great and complex build if you're just in to it just for the building part, or if you want to be able to put it in like some really cool dynamic poses and everything, you can do that as well. So I think with the Barbatos there is actually that appeal, that there's like something for everyone there. And that's my take on it. I would put the Freedom and Justice up there. Patrick, yeah, the Freedom and Justice are both also really great master grades. The Freedom 2.0, I would say, as well, is similar to the Barbatos, and that's a really great build, and it does, you know, everything. It looks great just standing there. It looks great in just really in action poses and stuff as well. So yeah, it's got kind of all the bases covered. All right. Would you split the best of different grades or categories? Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm not exactly sure because I'm not preparing that video quite yet. But yeah, I'll split it up in ways that will make sense, I think. All right. Jesta Shezar is better. Yeah, the Master Grade Jesta, also a really fantastic kit. Just in any particular version of it. And let's see. So kind of seam line here on the side of the leg, but that one I think you could kind of get away with. You don't really need to worry too much about that. It's kind of seems like a normal place for this panel line there. But on the other hand, you could get rid of that seam line pretty easily and not have to worry too much about interfering with anything else around it. You guys are now in the conversations talking about the best kits of the year, I think, and all that. So, any thoughts on cool paint schemes for the HG Justice Knight? I don't know, something like night themed. Not too long ago, I reviewed the Frame Arms Durga 2 kit. So I think like that kind of paint scheme, like silver with some cool like yellow highlights or something like that. I think could look cool for the Justice Knight. Like a knight theme for that, obviously. Kind of knight's armor color scheme for that. So, all right, for the top half of the leg. So yeah, the leg's pretty good in terms of seam lines. It's got seam lines on the thigh there, but that's kind of made up to just look like a panel line basically. So not worried about that. On the lower leg, there's a seam here, which I may get rid of, or I may convert to a panel line. I'm not sure, but there's a seam there as well. Nothing really too bad, though. It's not quite as bad as the arm, but you are going to have a few seam lines on this kit. But while that's to be expected for an HG kit, it is a little bit disappointing for this particular HG kit, I will say. For what this kit is, I think it's fair to have expected it to maybe not have so many seam lines. One or two maybe, but to have like 2 on each limb is a little bit much, I think. So there you go, there's that. It definitely looks weird, and it's really hard to rotate. Okay, here is why the fork action-based adapter sucks ass, and Bandai shouldn't have made this so that it uses that adapter. But I can understand, okay, a couple things. First thing, I can understand why they didn't make just a regular action-based adapter point with the peg hole, because of how complex this contraption here is in the waist. Putting a peg hole there in the center of that would get in the way of the articulation that they're working on making in here for the legs. So if they made that, then the leg hip joint wouldn't have the articulation that they wanted. On the other hand, already as it is, you can't really rotate the leg here at the top because it's just kind of blocked. The leg is not far enough away from the center section to be able to rotate freely. You kind of have to bring it out a little bit, and then you can rotate it like that. So if you wanted just like a stance with a leg, like just like rotate it out a little bit, you can't. You kind of have to like spread it out really far like that, and it's just going to be really awkward. So that's annoying. So, wow. Okay, so the ball is definitely dropped on that hip section there. So a few points to be a little bit unhappy about there for the hip so far. And already I'm kind of getting annoyed by just moving the kit around. This section all just like keeps, like an accordion, just keeps coming apart there in the mid section. I keep having to press it back together for it to look right without looking really goofy, being all stretched apart. Okay. But that said, here, sorry, another Tengu Gemini, thank you for your contribution as well. Let me just see your comment here. How would you recommend going about modifying or sculpting the different shoulder armor for the Hobby Hyzak using the HG Hyzak kit as a base? Oh, I have to think about that. I have to pull out my phone, I think. Using the HG Hyzak kit as a base and sculpting different shoulder armor for the Hobby Hyzak. I'm gonna have to look because I'm not familiar enough with those designs to know just off the top of my head. Yes. Okay, so you're wanting to modify or sculpting the different shoulder armor for the Hobby Hyzak. So you're wanting to make the Hobby Hyzak shoulder armor on the HG Hyzak. Yeah, that's gonna be tricky because it's kind of similar, like it's kind of there. I guess maybe what I would do, because on the Hobby Hyzak, let's do this here. Yeah. The Hobby Hyzak's shoulder armor is different because the regular Hyzak armor doesn't have the little like frill around the edge of it. So I would not use the shoulder armor from the Hyzak. I would just toss that out And just you probably use shoulder armor from a regular Zaku. Just remove the spikes because the regular Zaku has the fur around the edge, so you already have that detail covered. Just remove the spikes, and then the one shoulder that has like the extended length to it, you would have to scratch build that extended length on the right side shoulder armor of the Hobby Hyzak just to get that length on it. But I think using just a regular Zaku 2 or Zaku 1 shoulder armor, Zaku 1 you'd have to get, you'd have to get 2 of the kit or something to have both pauldrons on there. But I would say probably just any like HG Zaku 2 shoulder armor and modifying that would be easier way to go to create the Hobby Hyzak. If that answers your question, that's the best I can do for you at the moment, I think, but hopefully that helps. What's the one kit that you would keep and not sell? Like if I had to sell everything in this room except for one kit, then I would keep my I'd have to check, but I would keep either my PG Phoenix or my Ellen Kshatriya kit, because those are the two most valuable ones. So I'd keep that one. If I could only keep one, I'd keep one of those, and then sell that, and then buy a bunch of more kits back, because those are the most expensive ones. Alright, let me catch up here with you guys a little bit in the chat. So, alright. Let's build the other leg, and then we can build the weapons and wrap this guy up. I'm going to work on some more painting today. I'll work on the review for this guy. So there'll be a Master Grade Barbatos work in progress video, probably out before the review of this guy, and then like the reviews for this I think will come tomorrow. Isn't this kit pretty expensive? Yes, that's the other kind of downside of this kit, is that it is kind of expensive. And that's the other reason why it's kind of disappointing that it's kind of got some kind of goofy issues, but seems like so far the main issues with the kit are just due to the design. All right. Oops. Should be the other way. Not sure if that really matters, but that should be the other way around in there for the ankle part. And that on there like that. And this part up inside there. This part up onto the bottom of there. This part up onto there. And that actually should be over the top of that. Like that. And that fits onto there. And not that one. This one. Close up over the top of that. Like that. Alright. Just wanted to thank you for this time, and format works great for Milwaukee followers. Ah, that's good. Yeah, one of the best points. Obviously, just in general, it's great to be able to do this like as a full-time gig now. In general, but yeah, it is great. One of the good points about this is just live streaming schedule. Before, I was only able to do live streaming at night for me, which is early in the morning for those of you guys in the US. But now that I can do it in the morning time for me, that is in the evening for those of you guys there in the US, which is, I think, definitely much better. So, yes, it's good news. It's the most controversial kit of the decade. Which one? This one? Alright. This is the most controversial kit of the decade? Is that what you're talking about? And that is done for the moment. Then we had this part, which goes into there. That slots down into there. That little flap for the back of the leg hooks onto there. Close this up for the lower leg. Then the upper leg and lower leg together. This one. Onto there like that. And I'm suddenly... that fit onto there. I'm suddenly really craving some, like, microwave pizza. Like, not, or like microwave oven, whatever. Home pizza. Frozen pizza. That's the word for us. I'm not very good at English anymore these days, apparently. Frozen pizza. I'm suddenly craving frozen pizza, like, for lunch. That sounds like really good, actually. I do have one, but I kind of feel like a pig eating the only frozen pizza we have. Not saving that to eat, like, when my family's home, but just eating by myself. Okay, so yeah, the problems with the hip articulation for this is going to be a real pain in the ass. So I think, well, I guess you can do it kind of like that, so maybe it's alright. But it just is kind of getting in the way a little bit, so I want to be able to do a proper stance with this, and I guess it's okay. So I guess it's not as bad as I was thinking. Let's see if we can get a really super exaggerated stance out of this guy, like something like that. I know you guys can't see this well. I'm just trying to get the pose right. There you go. Yeah, just the bobblehead ruins it. But there he is anyway. Revan said, Zach, gotta go. Glad to catch you streaming. Thanks and see you later. Thanks, Revan. Thanks for hanging out. Let's just build up the shield and beam rifle for this guy and call it a day. There are a couple of really tiny parts here for the beam rifle, for the way that the handle is articulated and everything on it. You guys will see in a moment. But yeah, a couple of very tiny little pieces. Y'all need to chill with the caps. You can use caps. Zrips on Twitch asked, do you have the PG Astray Nilsson work review? I have not built or reviewed those kits yet, but I've got 2 different versions of the PG Astray that are on my to-do list. I just need the time to build them. The skirt really annoying me, yeah. Alex is eating KFC for lunch. I'm kind of jealous. I don't know if... I think I've had Korean KFC once, maybe in the long time that I've lived here in Korea. But that actually doesn't sound too bad either. Something delicious for lunch sounds like a good idea, now that I'm thinking about it. And I'm a little bit worried about putting this camera piece into there, but I'll find a way around it, because once you put this little yellow piece in there for the camera, there's no way that's coming out without having to drill it out from the back. So it's okay. I'll drill it out, and then I'll add a detail in the back to fill in the drill hole. The problem is it's not going in straight. Is there a particular way that needs... Oh, it does need to go in a certain way, like that. Okay, sorry, I was putting it in upside down. There we go. like that there, and this one onto here, like that. I got the barrel, which should fit on there like that, and there we go. I do like the new redesign of the beam rifle. It's just a very subtle redesign. Of course, we got seam lines on this as well. It's not all that different, but it does look pretty cool. So aside from the handle just moving side to side, it does also swing forward as well. So you can rotate the handle a little bit forward, which is pretty nice for an HG kit. Even most master grade kits, different versions of this, don't have that point of articulation. So it's like pretty standard for like a Zaku 2.0 kit. So I kind of like how you can have that forward handle at a bit of an angle like that. It's really cool. All right. Do you remember FG kits for? Do you recommend FG kits for trying out painting techniques? Yes and no. FG kits are really cheap, so if you're just like wanting to practice painting or anything, FG kits can be appealing just because of how cheap they are. But on the other hand, they have tons of seam lines like that. So like even once you're done painting it, even if you got like a cool paint scheme, then you still have like seam lines all over it. So unless you actually go through the work and do like a bunch of work removing all the seam lines on them, no matter how good your painting is, the kit's not going to look very good unless you do all the work to remove all the seam lines and everything. So an HG kit I think would cost a little bit more, but it wouldn't require as much work ahead of time, if you know what I mean. So like, huh? Okay. An FG kit will cost less, but it will take a lot more work. What am I doing wrong here? Something strange. Okay. Whereas an HG kit will cost you a little bit more, but there'll be much less work ahead of time. Just the prep work to get it ready for painting. So that would be my recommendation. Alright, then we got this little guy which will go into here. I'm gonna close that up like that. So we got a pretty interesting bunch of parts here on the inside of the shield. Oh, it's meant to go here. And that, oh no. Like that, and this part will fit over the top, and we are done. Alright, so there's the shield. It's an interestingly shaped shield. This will just plug on here onto this side of the arm. Like that. You don't have to use the handle. The handle also slides. I mean, it's a good amount of working parts and articulation and everything as far as the shields go. So, kind of interesting. Oh, and you're meant to rotate this down for plugging that onto the arm. A little bit lower point there. But, anyway, there it is. Yeah, this accordion section there in the waist is a bit of annoying. It makes for some really fancy articulation, but I think it's going to be kind of ending up bothering me more than anything. Yeah, so, and then those parts come apart, so, yes, pros and cons. Seems like they're kind of trading off one thing for another. Some cool design gimmicks and interesting points of articulation, trading that a little bit for some stability and everything. Overall, I think the Moon Gundam is probably better as an overall kit and just like a really advanced high grade kit. I think the Moon Gundam is still a better choice, and especially because they're both pretty expensive. This and the Moon Gundam also, you know, both pretty expensive HG kits. Between the two of them, I think I'm still gonna have to go with the Moon Gundam, just being a better value and just a better kit overall. This one is very gimmicky, so I don't know. That's my thoughts on it at the moment. I'll work on the full review for you guys later on today and have that going up later tonight, but more likely probably tomorrow for the full review. but I would say expect it to be pretty mixed. Certainly not all positive for this kit. Not all bad, but especially for the price and the availability, I'm not sure it's going to be one that I'm going to particularly recommend highly. But it's a pretty interesting build. So that is it for now, guys. Like I said a couple times before, but just in case any of you guys are coming in late, maybe missed it, I will also be painting this up straight away, probably starting next week, as soon as I'm done with the Barbatos. And you guys will be able to vote for the color scheme. Oh, do you want to see a size comparison right now? Okay. You guys will be able to vote for the color scheme. We'll have a poll for that on US Gundam Store. So here you go. Here's a comparison with the regular HG Revive Gundam. So yeah, in terms of like height, size, in general, they're gonna be about the same. But as you can see, the proportions are much different. The head and torso are much larger on the new industrial design version. The feet are much smaller, which I like. I'm a fan of like the smaller feet. But overall, I definitely prefer the original Revive HG. Plus, the Revive HG is like a third of the price, so I would still go for that one between the two. But yeah, so the color poll will go up after the review, so maybe like during the weekend you guys will be able to vote for that. But that is it for now, guys. Oh yeah, where's my little tiny red bit for the front of the Gundam's forehead? Is it missing? Oh, thank God it's in the box. If that had gone missing on the floor or something in this room, it'd be long gone. Phew. That was close. Thank you for pointing that out. Oh no, it's just gone again. I better just leave that in the box so that's not lost. Anyway, that is it for the review, guys. Thanks for hanging out, or not the review, for the live build. Not reviewing this quite yet. That is it for the live build, and I'll see you guys soon. Like I said, I think the next live build will probably be the Zeltsam next week, and then after that, unless something else comes up, I think the next live build after the Zeltsam will be the Kaz, the Matt K Machining Krieger kit. We'll do a live stream of the Machining Krieger Kaz kit after that. So, all right, guys, have a good one. Good day, night, wherever you are. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.